Rods. Hatch rate? No, I know. My friends make fun of me.
Good evening, Coach, and congrats on the win. We'll start with an opening statement from you, and then we will move on to questions.
A crazy college baseball game, and that's typical baseball. You got to tip your hat. I thought their guy was, for 6 or 7 innings, as good as a pitcher we faced in the last couple of years. It was electric. We just couldn't get on it, and then we have a great at-bat by Scotty DeBrule, and then Kellum Clark kind of gets us going. And, we had talked to the team about it's just so hard to get the last outs in Omaha. And just to keep fighting, get something going, and we were able to do that. And, we've been fortunate all year. Our best hitter comes to the plate, and he gets the big hit again. So a fun night for us.
Steve Robertson.
So, Coach, I know you had to take a minute to kind of dial it back a little bit, but the emotions of that big inning there, when Kellum hits the tank to right center, I know that kind of gives you a lift. But what was that moment like in the dugout before that, when you were just trying to kind of keep them locked in and keep fighting?
We pulled together that inning, and we talked about, because the older kids knew it felt very similar to the Auburn game in 19, where Auburn had beat us all day long, and we got something going late, so we just challenged them and to keep playing, stay resilient, and the things that we preach all year and the things that this club is. I mean, we have won so many late games just because we won't stop playing and won't stop fighting. So an unbelievable job by the guys.
David Murray.
Coach, you quipped the other night that you asked Tanner Allen when he was going to start helping the team. Would you have asked for anybody else to be in that situation in the 8th inning?
Besides Rowdy, Tanner's the guy I'd want at the plate. He's sitting right here, so I already gave him a compliment. It's like I've said earlier. It seems to be when the game's on the line, we have a way to get him to the plate, and he produced again. And he's been like that all year long. He's been the guy that just gets us going, and man, what a great hit.
Robbie Falk.
Chris, it might go overlooked by some people just because of that inning that y'all had with the 6 runs, but to continue to put up goose eggs out of the bullpen, those guys, to shut the game down and keep it where it was, how big was that?
It was huge, and we used a lot of guys tonight. I got a little worried late because we only had so much, 3 or 4 outs with Landon. We didn't have a lot, and we knew we'd have to use a lot of guys, and they all just piggybacked off each other. I mean, I thought Chase Patrick came in and got a double play ball. Cam Tuller came in and got some big outs. I mean, Parker Stinnett. I mean, you just go on and on through the group. Cade Smith. They just kept you got to get a hold. When you fall behind early, you got to get a hold if you want to come back, and we were able to do that. I thought we played really good defense. Really proud of. Cam James makes the highlight reel play where he goes into the dugout, but the play in the 9th was huge. Tanner Allen made 2 great plays, I thought, in right field on the ball in front of him where he got great first steps. And you just can't let people score. I mean, it's just hard enough for us to catch them. You just can't let them keep getting runs, and we were able to do that tonight. I thought we had so many guys play, so many bullpen arms. Josh Hatcher's out there, gets a big hit. Tanner Leggett's playing. Braylon Skinner's making a big catch. I mean, it was a team effort tonight.
Theo DeRosa.
Coach, you mentioned Josh Hatcher right there. How big is that for a guy who's a senior making his 3rd trip to Omaha to get in and have that kind of impact on this game?
It's been a tough month for Josh, I'm sure, because he's in RBPs, he's swinging it great. I mean, he had a slump early in the year, came out of lineup, and was struggling, but he's swinging in RBPs as good as I've ever seen him swing it. And Kellum Clark's been hot, and Luke Hancock's had a great year. And he hasn't pouted or anything. He's one of our energy guys. He's cheering guys on. That's one reason we're a great team, is we just have some selfless guys like that let you keep playing and keep doing. And when the time comes, his opportunity came. He got a huge hit for us.
Nick Suss. Nick, you're up.
You hear me at all?
Yep, there you go.
Chris, it kind of ended up being a funny moment there in the 8th with Rowdy on that double, getting stuck between 2nd and 3rd. But while it was happening there, what was going through your head and kind of what went on in that moment that he kind of got stuck there?
Well, it definitely wasn't funny in our dugout, so it may have been up there. It was a tough play because the center fielder kind of came in on it, and I think Hatch thought it was going to get caught, so Hatch didn't extend a lot. And when the ball fell, when that ball falls like that, usually Rowdy's going to get a triple, but Josh had to hold up a little bit. So that's kind of all that happened. Luckily, they were in tandem, and nobody was there to cover the base, but put us in a good situation. But and what a big hit by Rowdy there.
Joel Coleman.
Chris, you look back on that inning in the big rally, and I guess it just works out that way. The three guys that you have that have ended their seasons in Omaha all 3 years, their career, you got Hatch and Rowdy and Tanner all played huge roles in that inning. I know you probably don't have a whole lot of time to think about that kind of stuff in the moment, but just how cool is that three guys that have, I guess, built this program into what it's become the last 3 years get to have that moment in that huge inning.
It's awesome. It's awesome, and they came here to win it. They've been here. They've walked off this field and felt like they could have done more. And they're invested right now, and they're playing great baseball. And we just got to get our work in and let these guys just keep playing games. And the way they're playing, we got a chance to play for a while.
John Sokoloff.
Hey, Chris, John Sokoloff with WCBI in Columbus. Forgive me if it's a little loud. I'm right outside TD Ameritrade right now, about to go live. But you're one of the most even-keeled guys out there. But, what were you kind of going through? And take me through your emotions when you heard Tanner hit that ball in the 8th inning to take the lead.
What's funny is everybody else is celebrating and getting, having at bats, and my mind goes to the next 6 outs. Who do we have in the pen? Where are we at? How do we get it to Landon? Who's warming up? Those type of things. So many times everybody's celebrating in those late moments, and myself and Coach Foxall are huddled in the corner while everybody else is celebrating, trying to figure out, the last 6 outs or what we have left in the pen. Because we had used in this tournament, 13 pitchers, and we had used a bunch and used some the other night. So, that's where your thought and focus go to.
Theo DeRosa.
Coach, I know not the best night for Christian McLeod. What do you think he was doing there that they had a lot of contact off him, and how can he kind of regroup for the rest of the series?
Yeah, I hate it for Christian. We get here. He's one of the big reasons why we're here, and just didn't have a good night. Just didn't hit spots. Just left some balls over the plate. They took advantage of it, and we just couldn't go any more farther behind. Usually at home, maybe I'll let him fight through that a little bit more, but here with everything on the line, we just couldn't. And so he'll have a easier chance of bouncing back and getting back out there and get him the ball. And like I said, he's bounced back before from a bad outing. I just, I hate it for the kids to be on this stage and not have the opportunity to play their best. Hopefully we'll get a chance to get him back out there and pitch again.
We're going to go 2 more questions. Robbie Falk.
Coach, this team hasn't always had pretty ball games. And might get no hit going into the 7th or 8th inning, whatever it was, but they just don't seem to budge. They just find a way, it seems like, every single time. What have you seen from these guys that just made them so special and allowed them to do that?
I know this sounds crazy, but the ability to take a punch and keep playing is one of our greatest assets that we have. We have taken punches all year long. We take punches, and that's one thing about our league and playing against the best every weekend is, you get knocked back and you got to stand up and fight. And our kids that's what they do. I've used the word resilient all night, but that's who we are. That's what, some teams may have more of something else, but we're a tough, gritty team, and they'll never stop playing. These guys will play until the last out every time.
And final question, Steve Robertson.
Chris, I actually have 2. They'll be quick, though. How big was Preston Johnson to kind of come in there and settle the score for you? And also, to looking forward to the rest of the tournament, you've been able to get a lot of those guys in an inning or 2. How important is it to kind of get them and, kind of get that out of the way now?
Well, that was a little bit of the plan. We were for a minute there, I was trying to get a rain delay. So I was just running guys out, taking my time because that guy was pitching so good, trying to, get out there. But those guys getting out, getting their feet on the rubber, getting some action. I thought Parker Sinnett was good. I thought Chase was good, and Cam. And, Kate Smith, okay, but, he still threw up a goose egg. And so we're going to need all these guys, and we need them all. Landon can't pitch every in and out of the pen. We need guys to come in, throw strikes, make pitches. Maybe Landon can. He's sitting right here. Maybe he's shaking his head. But we have to have a whole staff. I was so proud of our team tonight. We had so many guys, and some guys hadn't played in weeks because of postseason play. And, it's what we preach all the time. Just be ready. Be ready. Your time will come. And some of these guys got their time on the biggest stage.
Thanks, Coach. Congrats on the win.
Thank y'all.
Our first student athlete to the podium will be Tanner Allen. Welcome, Tanner. We're going to go straight to questions. First up, John Sokoloff.
Tanner, two quick ones for you right here. One, what were your emotions like when you hit that homer to take the lead? And two, were you kind of surprised that they didn't walk you there with first base open and a couple runners at second and third?
Man, my first emotion was, going to the plate. I kind of prayed. I said, Lord, I know this is a big moment. And I just told him, I want you to know if I succeed or not, I still thankful for the ability you've given me and the opportunity you've given me to be in this moment. And then secondly, I knew they were going to throw it to me. I had a rough night before that. But, I have written on my glove in the outfield, it don't matter. And my first three at-bats, those were behind me. And I knew I had another at-bat or two to make a difference in the game.
David Murray.
Tanner, take us through that at-bat. Just what did you see? What were you looking for?
Well, first off, I've played with that guy, Steven Schock, before when I was a incoming freshman in a summer league, and he's an unbelievable pitcher. He dominated that league I was in, and he's dominated all year long. So hats off to that guy. And but I knew I had a base open. I knew they weren't going to throw me a fastball, so I kind of had an idea. I was just trying to get a slider up in the zones so I can do some damage with.
Teddy Cahill.
Yeah, Tanner, you mentioned having a rough night, but you hitless on Sunday as well. I mean, just how did it feel to get the monkey off your back here in Omaha in such a big moment?
It was a big sigh of relief, man. I was, like I said, I hadn't had a hit in a couple of days, but honestly, it really doesn't faze me. It's all about the next at bat, and I'm sitting out there in the outfield already thinking about how they're going to pitch me my next at bat. So I'm just playing it one pitch at a time, man. That's all.
Joel Coleman.
TA, a couple of quick ones here, but when Kellum hits that home run, can you just talk about maybe the momentum shift, that just the jolt that sent through the dugout? And then, of course, back to back, you get Hatch, Rowdy, you three guys that have been here, 3 straight times, play a big role in that rally. Just how special is that to, I know you're celebrating the win, but I mean, you 3 guys that have been doing this for so long, having a huge part of that.
No, for sure. And don't forget about the play Cameron James made over there in the other team's dugout, man. That was an unbelievable play. Kind of got us the momentum back, and Kellum has a big swing, hits a home run. And we got on the board. We kind of got the monkey off our back as a team. And then, a lot of people are going to remember Rowdy's double in my home, but I'm going to tell you one thing that won't go unnoticed is Josh Hatcher's 2-strike fight at the plate. To put the ball in play, he gets something started. That was big time. He hadn't got to play much lately, but I never doubted him one time. He's been playing a heck of defense late in the game, so hats off to that guy.
Robbie Falk.
TA, the game was kind of teetering early. It was 4-0. I think they had the bases loaded, a chance to really kind of blow it open there. And the bullpen was able to really settle down. And I think had 5 or 6 straight shutout innings. I know y'all weren't able to come through in those middle innings, but what kind of confidence did that give you guys that you were just a couple of big swings away from tying that thing or taking the lead?
Oh, for sure, man. They came out and shut them down completely, and that was huge because every time we get a 1-2-3 or they didn't score in that inning, we would always have momentum going to our dugout. And like I said, now we wouldn't always come through, but we'd always have that momentum, and we kind of kept it out of their dugout. So that played a big part in the game.
We'll go 2 more questions. Nick Suss.
Tanner, when the rally started, at what point did you realize you would be the go-ahead run? Were you kind of doing the math in the dugout knowing that you would be number 5?
Of course, man. I was standing in the dugout and I was telling Goat I'm going to face Shock. I know I will. Because the guy they brought in before was he didn't have his greatest stuff, but I saw him down there warming up, and I said, that's the guy I'm going to face right there. And then right when I saw, Rowdy get the double, that's when I first got to my mind. They got a base open. Probably not going to get much to hit, but I'm definitely going to look for a ball up in the zone.
And final question, Steve Robertson.
See, yeah, when you guys are up against it, and McGarry was dominant, obviously, but a lot of these younger guys look to you to see how to act. So how do you kind of handle yourself in the dugout, knowing that's going on, that these guys are kind of paying attention to you to see, is it just not our night? Or are we going to be okay?
It's funny you say that. First off, hats off to that guy for Virginia, man. He was unbelievable. Talking up to 97, 98, he was in the zone with a good slider. He got me twice on the slider. I tip my hat to him. That's the game. Sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't. But, as I was struggling throughout the game, I tried my best to just stay positive and keep the energy in the dugout and keep playing good defense because I knew eventually I'd get a chance, to help us win the game. And that the thought of having a big at bat late in the game kind of kept me in the game. So and also the young guys, I know they look to me and Rowdy and Riley Self and Hatch, all the older guys. We know how to handle the big moments, and we just had to stay positive as long as we could.
Thank you, Tanner. Congrats on the win. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, guys.
We will be joined next by Landon Sims. Welcome, Landon. We're going to go straight to questions. First up is Robbie Falk.
Landon, you ran out there right after that home run. I saw you sprint down to the bullpen, and it looked like they were trying to bridge that eighth inning to get to you in the ninth. How did you feel coming off that 50-plus pitch outing that you had a couple of days ago? And how'd you feel like you handled that tonight, the 4-out save?
It started the other night as soon as the game ended. I know I had to do some extra stuff because, we got to do everything we can do to win every single game here. I felt good. Coach Lem and Coach Fox are really good about not pushing me past any limits that I don't want to push past. I felt good, and I wanted to get the last 3 outs, and I happened to get the last 4 outs right there.
Steve Robertson.
We all know how competitive you are, and I know you would pitch every inning of every ball game if you could. But what did it mean to see your guys go out there in that bullpen? Parker, everybody. It seemed like everybody that's out there did a great job and did a job to kind of get it to you. So it's a guy that's had to carry a lot of the heavy weight. What did it mean to see those guys, get it going?
It's awesome. Those guys, they're dudes. They're every single guy out there. They're awesome. Preston coming in right after Christian. And then, Chase coming in first and third with 1 out and getting that double play. That was huge. And then, Cam Teller coming in there and getting those 2 outs, first and third, 1 out. Parker Stinnett looked good, and, Cade looked good. They all look good. But it's really fun to watch right there. I don't think they get enough credit for how good they are. So it was really good for them to go out there and really shove tonight.
Nick Suss.
You said you had to do some extra stuff to be sure you'd be ready for tonight. What extra stuff did you have to do, and when were you sure you would be ready for tonight?
Just some extra recovery stuff. Nothing too big. Having to come on short rest. It's not easy, but with our support staff, our trainers, our strength coach, they're the best in the business. So just getting with them and doing everything I can to be ready for today. I knew in the back of my head that with my competitiveness that I was going to want to get the last 3 outs regardless of how I felt.
And final question to Steve Robertson.
Obviously, as the comeback starts happening, you kind of realize an opportunity is going to happen. But what's that moment like when you complete the comeback? You look around there and you get your defense, and everybody has played a part in this. As Coach mentioned, it was a complete team game. What's that moment like when you're 2-0 in Omaha?
It's a great feeling. We didn't come here to win 2 games. We came here to win 5 games, or more if anything else happens. But it was really good to see everybody go out there and play really, really well tonight. The guys out of the pen, Hatch, Leggett, all those guys. Like that was the biggest team win we've had all year, and that's really important late in the year. Some people can hang their heads if they're not playing too much, but I think everybody in our dugout, when the opportunity presents itself, they're gonna go out there and give it their all, and that's really important to be a championship team.
Landon, thank you so much for your time tonight. Enjoy the rest of the evening and congrats on the win.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. As usual, the recording of this can be found on the NCAA digital media or digital hub. Thank you so much and have a great evening.